Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Samantha. I'm a homeschooling mom to 5 kiddos. 4 of those kids that I am currently homeschooling, the other one is just a toddler. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about what is working well in our homeschool. So we have officially been homeschooling for a full 2 weeks now, and I feel like after the first week you kind of know, like, is my schedule working? Is my routine okay? And then in the second week it's like, okay, not only is my schedule still working, are we doing things in order? Do we have too much going on in a day? What are the kinds of things that we need to tweak to make our days run better? Or really, you can kind of know early on, like, is this curriculum even working for my kiddo? So in this video today, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys, after 2 weeks into our school year, what is working and what's not. And I only have 3 points for each one, so this is going to be a pretty quick video. Thank goodness, because I'm actually filming this late in the day. I had like something going on with my neck, and so I've had a headache all day from like a neck pull or something. So I wasn't even sure that I was gonna be able to film, but I'm able to get this done now. The light is leaving us very quickly, and so I have a lamp on, and so sorry if the lighting is weird today. I normally film whenever there's plenty of light from outside on, but I'm working with what I have here today, and hopefully the information is useful and helpful to you guys in some way. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's start with the first 3 things that are working well that I've noticed so far in our homeschool after 2 weeks into our new homeschool year. Number 1, and I asked my kids for their input, especially my older 2 kids, because they're the ones who have the bulk of they have the most work, and really everything we do kind of a little bit caters to them to make sure that they are not overworked because of their activities that they have to do. And kind of the same thing with my younger 2, like, they still have other things we gotta get them to, but they have less work, so it's easier for them to manage. But from all of my kids, especially my older 2, they are all saying that their schedules are working out great, especially for my older 2. Sometimes the schedule and the amount of work that they have in a day, I can be a little ambitious when I'm scheduling those things, and it tends to be too much. But I think that as kids get older and they mature, they're able to take on more work. So while it still seemed like a lot, and even my daughter, who's going into the 8th grade, she was a little bit nervous, thinking that she had way too much work, she wasn't going to get it done. They're just way more efficient workers now too. So they're mature, they grow in maturity every year. They grow in their ability to be more efficient, to be more on task, and things like that every year. So I think that they have, especially my older 2, developed really good study habits to where they're able to take on a workload that is pretty robust and get it done in a manageable amount of time for them. So even though they have a lot, they would agree with even my younger 2, well, my other 2 who don't have as much, that the amount of work that they have in their day is working out fine. They're enjoying their schedules. I think they like how things are done throughout the day, with some of the textbooks earlier in the day, and then we mix and match some of the AO readings with some of the alveary, and then they're out of their seats and in their seats at different times. So they're not just seated all day long at their desk working alone. So yeah, that has been one of the things that is working well in our homeschool so far, 2 weeks in. And I have these written down, so when you see me looking down, that's what it is, because like I said, I had a headache and I was asking them earlier, and I'm just now getting around to filming this. But yeah, so I wrote everything down because I knew I probably wouldn't remember the things that they said. Okay, secondly, this is actually probably a bigger it's working out good for me, because we live in a much smaller space than we had like when we very first started homeschooling. And so as we live in this house, I'm continuing to try to find ways to utilize our space the best. My husband works from home part-time, and so having one of our 4th bedroom being dedicated to like work and office space, as well as sharing it with basically our library. My kids, we don't have really our homeschool room set up for them anymore. So we have found ways to organize our books and things. And when we moved to this house, we dedicated a room to homeschooling. And like I said, that room has like been partitioned off, and half of it's my husband's work office. And so we don't really homeschool in there, but the other half is like my treadmill and workout area plus a library. So we don't do our work in there, and we don't keep our everyday work in there either, so that when my husband is working in there, we're not in there bothering him. So we got more rolling carts. We use our rolling carts to hold our notebooks and journals and all of our books and things like that. And last year I was able to have my older 2 kids share, and then my younger 2 shared. This year my son just has so much that he has a whole rolling cart to himself, and then my daughter has another rolling cart. She uses 2 shelves on it, and then I have my stuff on the bottom shelf, so I share with her, and then my younger 2 still share a rolling cart. But those things, like, they're super slim. I can slide them into a closet to store them, but honestly we just put them up against the wall. We don't have a whole lot of visitors, and at the end of the day, we're a homeschool family. It's not something we're trying to hide, so we like the look of our books as well. So we just leave them against the wall, and yeah, my kids have access to them very easily. And then the other thing that we utilize, and I've also used these in our homeschool from the very beginning, are storage containers. And this is where my kids are now housing like all of their like whatever art supplies or math supplies that they need, or like flashcards, disc drives, because we work off of laptops, and all of the ones that we have don't have like disc drives on them, so we've had to buy external drives, and that's for my kids' languages. So they have disc drive or discs for both French and Greek, and the only way to use those on the laptops is with disc drives. So we have 2 of those disc drives, and they can put those in their containers. And they also have drawers on their desk. We don't use those as much anymore, because those desks were actually like, if you go look on IKEA, they're the cheapest desk you can get. They're like, I don't know, back when we bought them, they were only like $50. And at one point they had shot up to like $100. I think now they've come back down a little bit to around $79 or something like that. But we've had them for, what, 5 years now, and they're just falling apart at this point. My kids have put so much stuff in them that the bottom of those drawers just don't hold things anymore. So we don't use that. We actually have intentions on just getting rid of all those desks and just buying a table, another table for them to work at. So that's in the works, and the situation that we have right now with the book carts and the storage containers would work fine if we just got a table and didn't even worry about the desk. So yeah, our school organization is working out well. My kids all know where all of their stuff is at. It gets taken out when they need it, put up when they're done with it, and things aren't being left out and getting lost like has happened in the past. So that has been a plus. And then as far as curriculum goes, so this will be what's working, point number 3, and it's curriculum. So far, I think it can be, sometimes it takes a little time to realize that something doesn't work. Sometimes you know right away that something doesn't work. But for the most part, this is year 2 of basically doing the next level up of exactly what we did last year. And so yeah, everything's working out great. For my son, we do have some different electives that he's doing this year compared to last year, and he's enjoying those. Those are with the alveary. The only thing is I'm still working on putting together like a sport specific health thing for him, and then trying to figure out where I'm going to fit that in, or if I'm just going to wait to do that next year. But what we're doing right now, as far as all of my kids' math, their language arts, their history, like every subject that they use with alveary or Ambleside Online, everything's working out really well. And I will say, if you are new, if you're curious about Charlotte Mason, or you're new to Charlotte Mason, you're kind of still like struggling with reading and narrations and things like that, just give it time. I didn't think that we would get to the point to where my kids were like reading narration like clockwork, or like, you know, like a well-oiled machine, but we are getting there. So it's been so nice, like, not have to repeatedly ask or you know, pull teeth to get the narrations. My kids are like way more confident in giving them. I think that they all are like, you know, really seeing books in a new way, and I see that coming through their narrations. And so I'm just absolutely loving the way that we have kind of grown into our homeschool and how we do it now. Yeah, so all of that to say that so far, 2 weeks in, our curriculum is working. That can change at any moment, but as of right now, all is good there. Okay. So I also have, like I mentioned, 3 things that are not working. And number 1, when I built my kids' schedules, they're based on timetables. And this is something that's like, if you do Charlotte Mason, like, you know about the timetables. And I wanted my kids to kind of work around the same times in everything that they're doing. For most subjects, I noticed with the alveary that they are generally the same amount of time, except for like my first grader, because he's spending way less time. And even my 6th grader, some of her times for her timetable are shorter than my older kids. And so where they were, you know, maybe 5 minutes fast and 5 minutes slow, I would meet in the middle. And I would say the biggest thing that we've noticed is like some of our timetables just need to be tweaked a little bit. On some of the subjects, they have way too much time, because I tell them like, this is our timetable, and so we're going, or this is our time for this, you know, for language arts. And so just work until that time is up. And they're going through like multiple exercises, kind of where it's just too much. So for them, while they do like to get ahead because it works out, like if we're going to go hang out with friends, or especially during the track season, unlike cross country where meets are on Saturdays, during the track season, they're during the week. And so it gets a lot easier to get behind on work during that time. But with the time-based schedule, they will work ahead. They generally work ahead, unless it's a harder subject. Like for some of my kids, for math, they're basically just getting their lesson done. But for the most part, all of my kids, when it comes to language arts, are doing multiple exercises a day. So then they get done with multiple lessons in a week. Since we use master books, it's like 5 exercises in 1 lesson. So they find it ends up being easier for them to get ahead in language arts. But to the point to where like they're just kind of done. Like if they have, say, 40 minutes for language arts, it's just too much. So, and then there's another subject I think they have like 25 minutes for, and it's for all of them, whatever the subject is, I can't remember. It's just a little bit too little, because a lot of times they're not getting done with the lesson. So that's just on me to go in and figure out those kinks and make some tweaks to their timetables. Secondly, this is always kind of a not working, for me anyways, in these seasons when I have a toddler, is just keeping them busy and, you know, entertained, and making them still feel loved and cared for, and like they're being, you know, getting attention as well during the school day. Because especially when I'm working one-on-one with my first grader, and we're working on reading and the new math concepts, like he really needs all of my attention. But then my little toddler doesn't like that he has all the attention. So even if she's entertained or something, she really at that moment wants mama. And so then it just kind of throws us off. So I really need to figure out better ways to structure my lesson time with him, and then, you know, maybe finding ways to include her. Or, you know, when he was a toddler, he loved busy bins, and those would keep him busy all the time. She is a little bit different though. While she does like busy bins, she gets bored with things much quicker, and she really just likes to, you know, pen, pencil, drawing, art. So when she sees them working in their school books, like, she wants a school book. So I have printed her out workbooks, but because they don't look like my son, she doesn't want them. And even if I give her, because he has a little light units, even when I give her one that he's done with, because he doesn't have to do, you know, that he's done with it, so I can give it to her, because it's marked in or colored in, then she doesn't want it. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just by her. Christian Light has like the little kindergarten 1 light units. I think there's like 5. There's a total of 10. I think there's like 5 that are one thing and 5 that are like 5 that are the lessons, 5 are that are the activities. I think I'm just gonna buy her the 5 activity ones because they're basically coloring pages and like tracing pages, and hopefully that will keep her busy. Along with like all of her toys and things like that. Like she's constantly playing, but she just wants to be doing whatever he's doing, exactly what he's doing. So I just have to figure out a way, and I think that might be the best way is like to have her do that while he's doing his learning to read, and hopefully that will help me and him get through his lessons a little bit better. And last but not least, the last thing, or the third thing that's not working so well in our homeschool is the electronics. Like, not the overuse of electronics, but with the alveary. And I guess this would kind of be a con because for a lot of years, like, we've been pretty low tech except when absolutely necessary. And you don't have to do all of the videos with the alveary, but my kids really like to do all of the videos, all of the like if there's extra readings or extra things for me to print out or extra maps, like they like to have the full lesson to include all of those things. And so sometimes, especially at Bible, whenever they're doing, like if there's a video for the Bible project or whatever video that they're using that pertains to the lesson, a lot of times both my high schooler and my middle schooler will need to watch a video, but they're not the same video. Sometimes it's the same video and so they can all watch together, but other times there's separate videos, and so we actually have multiple laptops, and it can just be a little much whenever all 3 of them in their separate lesson plans have videos, but they're not the same. And so just figuring out like who gets it when without them fighting, if they need to do like typing for my 6th grader, she's got her typing whenever they're watching or doing their languages, you know, they have to have those hard drives. And so the computer situation right now is not working very well. And I think that's because while our schedule does work, how we have it set up, they're doing a lot of subjects like Bible and languages at the same time. And so I think in order to make the computer situation better, I might need to tweak my older 2 schedule just a little bit so that they're not doing the same subject that needs the computers at the same time. So that even my 6th grader who also needs it for Spanish, so I'm having one need it for Spanish, one need it for Greek, one need it for French, and there's 2. So that's just, you know, first world problems right there. It's really not that big of a deal, but it's just something in our homeschool that's not working right now. So I have to figure that out. That's all I have. I know many of you have been homeschooling for quite a bit of time now already, a few months. So I'd love to hear how things are working or not working in your homeschool. What are some things that you've had to tweak so far this year? And what are some things that have worked really well for you? I would love to know. So go ahead and put those in the comments. If you have any questions for me, also put that down in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.